fool us. Let's meet the next act who might stick it to Penn and Teller.
Most people think you're either born creative or you're not, and that is so far from the truth. Creativity is like anything. It's a muscle, and the more you use it, the better you become with it. I got into creating magic about 8-9 years ago. My claim to fame is an item called pyro, which is a wrist-worn fire shooter. I think pyro was a big hit because who wouldn't want to shoot fireballs from their hands? I don't create things to fool normal people. That can be pretty easy. My job is to not only fool laymen, but get magicians to buy products that I create. Well, tonight, it's me bringing Penn and Teller something I'm positive they've never seen before, and it's just about me standing there trying to fool them.
Along with a randomly selected member of our audience, please welcome the inventive magic of Adam Wilber.
Thank you, Allison. Thanks so much. What's your name?
Tony.
Tony, I'm Adam. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Can I borrow a dollar bill from you?
I do have $1.
Beautiful. You from Chicago?
I am.
All right, that's where I would keep it too. Perfect, perfect. Tony, I'm gonna have you do me a favor. I'm gonna have you sign this, and I'll put a little box so you know exactly where to write for me. So if you put your name right there, that would be excellent.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people ask me why I do magic for a living. It's a kind of an honest and interesting question. And the answer is pretty simple. For the money. See how easy that is when you're a magician? Now, Tony, we're going to get back to your bill in a moment. But first, since we're on this beautiful stage, I figured I'd show you something cool. Would you like to see a magic trick? Perfect. Coincidentally, you have exactly the right amount. Welcome to Vegas, my friend. Now, before we get to that, I want to tell you a little bit of a story about how I got interested in magic when I was a kid. See, I used to live down the street from a magic shop, and the guy behind the counter was an interesting dude, but he used to do the most incredible things with money. I'll show you the very first thing he showed me when I walked into his shop. He had this little wooden paddle. It didn't look like much to me. It had pieces of paper on each side with money signs on them. That's 3 here, 3 here. Again, doesn't look like much until he did the magic shake. Watch careful, Tony. It looks like this. And now those paper have turned into pennies. That's 3 here and 3 here. I was stunned to silence myself. I get it. Now, this was at the time the most incredible thing I had ever seen in my entire life. Keep in mind, I was 6 years old, right? But so incredible that I bought the effect. I went to my house and I spent the better part of a week changing paper into pennies and laughing to myself like a crazy person the entire time. Now, at the end of a week, when I had enough money, I went back to his shop and I said to him, "What do you have that's a little more substantial than maybe pennies?" And he brought out little colored sheets of paper, and 4 of them to be exact. At this point, I wasn't too impressed, but he said, "Wait till you see what they can do." So, Tony, watch careful. We're going to take 4 of these pennies. I'm going to place them right in the middle of this trash paper. We'll call it that for now. Very fairly, all I'm going to do is fold them into a little bundle of trash paper, essentially. Now, at this point, as a little kid, I wasn't too impressed, much like our audience here today. Nothing happened just yet until he did the magic shake. He opened this up, and to my surprise, he had 5 times the money he started with. Watch careful, because those pennies have turned to nickels. Right? Mind was blown. So, of course, I said, "Ring me up." I went back to my house, and I spent the better part of 2 weeks changing paper into pennies and pennies into nickels, laughing to myself like a lunatic the entire time. Now, this time, when I went back to his shop, I didn't even have to ask him what was next, because he had this little brass cap already sitting there waiting for me. Didn't look too impressive, but for this, can I have your hand to demonstrate? Put your hand right in here and a little higher. I'm going to take the 4 nickels and I'm going to place them on the back of your hand. Now, it's important you keep your hand steady, because if you don't, those nickels fall off into my hand. Now, I'll do this as slow and fair as I can. Tony, can you see the nickels on the back of your hand?
Yes, I can.
Can you feel the nickels on the back of your hand?
I can.
And can you see this empty, weird-looking brass cap?
I see that weird cap.
Watch this. We put the cap over the nickels, and we wait. Now, of course, we need that magic shake. This time I do it.
Oh.
Beautiful.
I was going to shake for you.
Perfect. Now, Tony, be honest. Does your hand feel a little bit lighter than it did?
Not so much.
See, it should, because dimes are lighter than nickels. 4 dimes from 4 nickels. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I went back to the magic shop, and I asked the guy, do you have anything with foldable money, something I could actually make a living with? And what he showed me next changed my life. This thing right here. At this moment, not too impressive, but let me show you what it does. Tony, is this your bill?
That is.
The one that you gave to me?
Yes, it is.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to put this right here. Now, watch careful. All we do is slowly roll this, and you'll see that $1 bill change from a 1 to 100. Thank you. Tony, can you verify that your name is written on the back of that 100?
That's my name. That is my name.
Now, Penn, Teller, I have a feeling you might think I'm using some sort of wordplay or trickery, but I can assure you I'm not. See, this is Tony's bill because this is Tony's signature. So, Tony, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Tony, I'm going to have you take this home. Compliments of me. Don't worry, I can make many, many more. Let's all give Tony one big round of applause as he takes his seat.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let's hear it for Adam Wilber.
Thank you very much.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So, an inventor.
I love that creativity process of trying to make a problem that's both entertaining and fun to watch, but also fooling at the same time.
Do you have more tricks in the pipeline that you're sort of...
I do have a few that are far-fetched ideas, but I think that's where the best magic comes from. Thinking way outside of a box of impossibility and then whittling it down to something that's a happy middle ground, you know?
Do you, like, wake up in the middle of the night with, like,
I do.
an idea? I'm like,
I do.
oh, I gotta try it.
Yeah, anyone here, always keep a notebook by your bedside, and it's one of the biggest keys I can give you.
Okay, looks like the guys are ready. Guys?
I want to say before anything that magicians are never classy. They always do these things where they change $1 bill into 100 and they change it back and do some sort of lame joke about keeping the money or keeping the money for themselves. Giving the guy the $100 bill as a souvenir is classy and the way to go. We've never seen a magician do that.
Awesome.
Really, really.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we all know these words are just going to rattle off really quickly. We all know paddle moves, cap and pence, and Buddha money mystery. We all know those. And those are done beautifully in a really nice routine. But the question is, how did you get the signature on the bill? And there are 2 solutions that we could think of. And I want to ask you one question before that. And that is, can we look into that Halberton case you have there?
Please.
Okay, we're not gonna. We just want to know if we could.
Sure.
We have a huge amount of information once you said that. And if you were bluffing on that, you're a genius. Just a genius. So I think that little question and answer gave us a little window into how you might have done this trick. A little bit of a way to frame the whole thing and get a very clear idea of how you ended up giving that guy a $1 bill turned into 100 with his signature right on there. It's a wonderful, wonderful act.
Thank you very much, but no window whatsoever. I know where you're going. Absolutely not.
No window
in
at
any
all.
shape or form, no.
And we can look in the case?
Yes.
Seems like
Now we're
the
gonna look
wrong
at the case.
guess, even though I don't know what they're talking about. Wait. Oh, this is exciting, people. Oh, there's no window in there.
No.
I don't know what that means. I think we have a Congratulations!
We had 2 choices, both of them wrong.
Wow, I did not see that coming, and clearly neither did Penn and Teller. Let's see if we have another fooler on our hands after the break.